Going on, guys? This is SG TCG here. This is Shadow XX Silent. It's giving you guys a deck profile for a store championship that I won over this past Saturday. So let's get right into it. I took the Don Quixote Doflamingo green purple leader. Amazing leader. You know, you set 2 Don as active at the end of your turn. Very clutch for all your events that I run in the deck. So this is just great for defense, or even just, you know, it trips out your opponent thinking you have something. Diving into the cards, I run 4 of Buena Festas. You know, 2K counter, which is perfect for trying to get out of those attacks, but it also searches my film cards. I run a decent amount of film. I run the film engine for Don Quixote, so if I don't have a Nami to start or like a Luffy, I'm trying to search for it. The only risk is that I'm risking sending my events or my other Don Quixote cards to the bottom. Next card I run is a Shiki. Really only use this for 2K counter, so in case when I search for Buena Festa and I end up whiffing, I could at least try to get a 2K out of hand. Following up with that, I run a 4 of Chopper. I really only use this for 2K counter also. Never really got around to playing it, but comes in clutch when I'm also trying to evade all the attacks. And then one of the key players in my deck, we run 3 of Sugar. Amazing card. Comes in clutch when my opponent has a blocker on field, able to rest it up to 4. And even then, this is something that they always try to play around, because on their turn, it can rest any of their cards as they play it. The only thing is it can be KO'd if their effect takes priority, but if not, they're trying their best to take this off board, which basically turns it into a blocker, which is amazing. Diving more into the film engine, we run 4 of Nami. You know, 3K, 5K swinger, and on top of it, rest 1 Don to search. If I don't have any of my film cards that I need, like my Utas, my Luffy's, or Tesoro, you know, it's good to start searching. Again, I'm very wary of it because I do send a lot of my events that are not film or my Don Quixote cards, but does come in handy when I have all that in hand already and I just start searching through the deck. Next in the deck, I run 3 of Brook. 1K counter, 4 cost, 5K swinger, but on top of it, on play a Straw Hat or film card with the cost of 3 or less. Comboing this with Nami is the greatest thing ever. Getting 2 bodies on board, and on top of it, once you get the Luffy, go Luffy to Brook to Nami, you're just getting 3 bodies for the cost of 1. And it's the greatest thing ever. Trips out the opponent, then I'm swinging big the next turn. For my next 4 costs, I run 4 Utas from the starter deck 5. Amazing. A blocker, and then on block, send 1 Don back, resting a 5 cost or lower on your enemy. Save me a bunch resting Laws, resting those 4 cost Sanjis on board. Even then, I've been getting really aggressive with the Utas because they don't expect me to swing into it. So once I'm swinging, they're going to counter out and then they're going to go for her the next turn regardless. So I've been taking advantage of using her in an aggressive manner, getting some counters out of the hand. But when she's blocking, stalling out the game, it's beautiful. Next in the deck profile, I run 2 Guild Tesoros. I used to have this at 4, but I used to run into the problem of having too many of them and no counters in hand, and I was just bricking really hard. So I dropped it to 2 and I substituted with a different card in this deck. But when I'm at 10 Don, this card becomes such a key player. On attack, Don -2, draw 2 cards, consistently getting into those 2K counters or more events. Tesoro, then they really want to get this off the board, so comes in real clutch. Next in my deck profile, we got Diamante, 5K, 6K blocker, but on 1 Don added to him, he restands with 2 active Don. Comes in clutch with our Don Quixote leader since he stands 2 Don at the very end of the turn. So every turn, I'm swinging with Diamante for 7, and then he's restanding to be able to block that next turn. Amazing. Able to get really aggressive with the blockers and still put out a lot of damage, making them have to counter. Next into the film engine again, we got the Luffy, how I was saying. 7 cost, 7K blocker. On play a 1 film or Straw Hat type character with the cost of 4. A lot of the times I love to combo Luffy with Uta so I can get 2 blockers on board, and then I'll swing with Luffy because it's a 7k, they're going to want to counter out, or it goes through and I'm able to take a life. But the other combo, like I said, we do Luffy to Brook to Nami, and then I'm getting 3 bodies on board to be able to swing the next turn. Came in clutch with the Katakuris that I was facing, took them way off guard. The next card that I added into the deck was 2 Kriegs. So I dropped the Guild Tesoro down and added 2 Kriegs to be able to remove, on play trash 1, remove 2, KO 2 rested 4 cost. Perfect against the Katakuris with their Sanjis when they were swinging, and on top of it, add 1 Don for double attack. They're going to always want to counter out of the 8k, so I'm going to take a lot of resources out of their hand. But if it connects, we're taking 2 life, which is also amazing. So this came in clutch against my Katakuri matchups on Saturday, which was amazing. Then we got our boss monster of the deck, 4 Don Quixote Doflamingo, 10 drop. You already know, on play, we stun a total of 3 of our opponent's rested characters. This broke knees against Katakuri. Was able to rest and stun their big moms, and they weren't able to swing at me that next turn. So this won me the finals right here. If it wasn't for this card popping up, we wouldn't have won, but came in clutch. Now going into our events, I run 2 Paradise Waterfalls, 1 cost plus 2k, and I restand a character. I always combo these with my blockers so I could block, restand, and then be able to block again. It was perfect, so I'm able to stall it out a bit. Next event that I'm running is 3 Punk Gibsons plus 4k, and then I'm resting a 4 cost or under. So again, I was able to rest their blockers so that the next turn I was able to swing at them the next one or cancel an attack if they misplayed it a bit. So this also came in clutch. Outer life, you rest one of your opponent's characters, which is at any cost. If you get that outer life trigger, it is an amazing thing to get. Next event that we run is a Spiderweb. I run 3 of. It's a Paradise Waterfall on crack. For a 2 cost, you get 4k, and you also get to restand again. Always comboing this with my blockers. If not the blockers, I'm restanding Tesoro to keep them on board so I can continue to do the send 2 Dom back and draw 2 cards. But I always use this to keep the Tesoros and the blockers going so we can keep that match going. Next event I run is a 3 Thunder Baguas. This is perfect to ramp. I usually try to take life early on to get more cards in hand, and then once I get into that 2 life range, you add a Don rested, so I'm able to ramp up to try to get to that 10 cost Don Quixote, or ramp for the Tesoros so that I can continue to use that ability. And on top of it, you get 4k counter. Amazing card. And then the last event that I run is a 1 of Gum Gum Jet Gatling. I used to run 3 Paradise Waterfalls, but I decided to switch to a Gum Gum Jet Gatling due to the fact that I used to run into a lot of bricks in hand with like 4 Tesoros or the Kriegs, which don't have any counter. So I run 1 of Jet Gatling in that off chance that that's all I have in hand, 0 cost, and then I get 3k counter out of it. But overall, this deck profile has been really good. It came in clutch against those Katakuris. I beat 2 Katakuris, 1 Isho, and then 1 Smoker. But those Kriegs and those 10 drop Don Quixotes came in real clutch for it. But this has been the deck profile for my green-purple Don Quixote Doflamingo. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys next time.